Welcome to Talking About Success. I'm your host, Jack Canfield, America's #1 success coach, chairman of the Canfield Training Group, and the author of numerous New York Times best-selling books, including the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and most recently, The Success Principles, How to Get from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. Cydney O'Sullivan started her first business at 27, and she was a millionaire by the age of 38. Now, I know you've written a lot of books. I know you work with a lot of authors, and you teach that people can play and should play a bigger game in life.
I've just kind of become known. Since I wrote my first book, people started asking me, how did you get the book written? How did you get so many amazing interviews? And so I've been helping other people write their books for almost 10 years now. And what we start with is, what is the big game for you? What's the big vision you have? Where do you want to end up? You and I, Jack, we've had some amazing experiences, and they don't happen by accident usually. You have to have a plan, right? Mm-hmm. So we sit down, we plan out what's the biggest game that we're looking for, and then we think about how can we make the book support that goal. You've done this with Success Principles, for instance, right? You wrote the book and you've turned it into a huge training program with thousands of coaches.
Right, no, it's true. I always say the book is just one aspect of being what I often call an informational utility. You want to transform lives, and once you have a book, one of my friends says, you make more money talking about your book and explaining your book and doing things off the book than you ever make from the book itself for most people. And so we have a coaching program, we have trainings we do, we have online courses we do, and we're training trainers to do this work on, I think now 117 countries. So yeah, the book's one piece of a much larger strategy to transform the world, to inspire people to live their highest vision in a context of love and joy.
And you even had those kind of amazing goals when you did your Chicken Soup for the Soul book series. You set a goal that you wanted to impact. How many lives was it? It was 1 billion or?
1 billion lives.
1 billion lives.
Yeah. I think we've done that. Just, literally, we sold 315 million books in China. And I know most books are read by more than one person there. Lots of, probably 100 million books in India. I've been to India. I see the books get passed around a lot. Been on television shows, many of them seen by 40 million people at a time. The movie The Secret was seen all over the world by tens of millions of people. We want to impact a lot of people. And we don't have to know how we're going to do it. We just have to set the goal. Because a lot of people laughed at us. A billion people.
I was going to ask you, did
crazy?
People say, are you crazy, right? Yeah, I get that all the time.
Our publisher said we were crazy.
Yeah.
And we sold 135,000 by Christmas, 1.3 million. Now we missed it by a little bit. He stopped laughing.
Yeah. You talk about how your publisher laughed at you, but didn't you have like 144 publishers reject you when you first came out with the concept?
Yes, everyone said the title's stupid, and 144 rejections over the course of about 18 months.
Wow, and you didn't take no, you just kept going. And I actually recommend to most of my clients that they self-publish, even though we have relationships with big traditional publishers. I just find that when you self-publish today, with all the great technologies available, you have so much control. And when you're really good at internet marketing, like my team are, you can do phenomenal things, like,
Sure.
The things that some of the big internet marketers are doing with their books now. They're getting hundreds of thousands of books sold and getting the contact details of the people and then turning that into money.
And if we sell it ourselves, we get all the profit. So this is great. So if people want to work with you, where do they go? How do they connect with you?
So you can find all my websites on cydneyosullivan.com. We go right up to completely customized elite services where we'll help people write their book, right through to getting them on the media. And the thing about getting a book written is you should definitely be getting out in the media. Do everything you can. One of my clients had a most amazing success story a few months ago. She had a real estate agency. She basically wrote her book really quickly. She had a bit of a different twist on real estate management. She sent her book to the local media. She got a cover of a local magazine. She got on the TV. And literally it put about $200,000 in extra income into her business over the next week. And then she sold her agency for over 7 figures a couple of months later, right before COVID. She's loving me right now because she's out of the business and she gets to consult now to real estate agencies all over the world and real estate investors. So the power of books and media together is phenomenal. Don't just write a book and then expect it to sell itself.
It's true. It's like you can't have a child and not raise it. You have to do the work to get it out there to the public, because it's, and you've worked so hard on the book. You've got to be willing to make sure that everyone knows about it and is willing to read it. Otherwise, it doesn't it doesn't have the impact that you want to have on the world. Well, if you're someone who's got an idea you want to get out to the world, if you've written a book but it hasn't gotten to where you want it to go yet, and you want to build a whole business around it, clarify your brand, get all the media to work in today's world, which is a continually changing, evolving game of social media and so forth, Cydney can help you do that.